We need to talk about something that's quietly draining your focus and making you less present in your own life. It has a name. It's called attention residue.
So here's an uncomfortable truth about your brain. Right now, as you're listening to me, a part of your mind is still thinking about whatever you were doing just before you started this. See, even though you're here, you're not fully here. Your mind is still tied to that last thing, like there's this invisible string just pulling your focus away.
And this constant mental tether, that's exactly why you feel so scattered all the time. Like your brain is in a dozen different places at once, never really settling on the person or the task that's right in front of you. Let me just walk you through a quick scenario. I have a feeling this is going to sound a little too familiar.
All right, picture this. You're in a group chat. You know the one. The conversation is moving fast, maybe it's a little dramatic, and it's taking up all your mental and emotional energy. You type out your last message, and you close the app.
Then, boom, immediately you switch gears. You open up an important work email, something that requires real logical thought. On the surface, it looks like you've moved on, right? But here's the problem. A piece of your brain, it never left that chat. You're still replaying the conversation, you're wondering how that one person is going to react, you are trying to focus on the email, but your mind is literally in two places at once.
And you find yourself reading the same sentence in that email like 3 times over, and it's just not sinking in. You have to stop and ask yourself, wait, where did the rest of my focus actually go?
Well, that mental fog, that feeling of being split, it's not just in your head. It actually has a name. And just understanding what it is, that's the first step to beating it.
It's called attention residue. That's the official term for when thoughts about a previous task just sort of linger and bleed into your focus on a new task. And this is so important. It is not a lack of willpower. This isn't you being lazy, it's just how our brains work.
Think of it like this. Every time you switch tasks really fast, you leave behind this trail of cognitive debris. All this mental junk clogs up your working memory, and it makes it basically impossible to give your full attention to what's right in front of you.
And honestly, this isn't just some minor annoyance that makes you a little less productive. This constant switching comes at an incredibly high and usually invisible cost to your entire life.
See, every time you switch, you're not just changing what you're doing. You are fracturing your own attention. You leave a piece of your brain power behind. And that means you show up to your next task, whether that's a creative project or just a conversation with someone you love, with less mental capacity than you had just a few moments before.
This basically leads to 2 totally different ways of operating. On one side, you've got deep work. That's when you're fully present, you have your full cognitive capacity, and you get into that amazing state of flow. But when you're operating with attention residue, you're stuck in shallow work. Your mental capacity is shot, you're way more likely to make simple mistakes, and everything just feels hard, like you're fighting against yourself. Your creativity tanks, and your connections with people feel thin because you're never really there with them.
You know, we've been sold this idea that multitasking is a superpower, a sign that you're super productive. But what if that whole idea is a complete lie? What if multitasking is really just another term for failing slowly at multiple things at the same time?
And that question, it gets us right to the heart of the problem. The great multitasking illusion. It's time we finally pull back the curtain on this myth that you can somehow do it all at once. Here's the most crucial point. Your brain is a single core processor. It is not built to focus on 2 demanding things at the same time. Yeah, sure, you can walk and chew gum, but you can't write a thoughtful, important email while also being fully present in a meeting. It's impossible. What we call multitasking is actually just rapid, incredibly inefficient, and totally exhausting context switching.
I mean, the difference is just stark. A focused brain is like a clean, direct line of energy. But a brain that's trying to multitask, it's just pure chaos. It's a storm of competing signals, all of them fighting for a tiny piece of your limited attention.
And this is the aha moment. For years, we've all been obsessed with time management, right? Trying to cram more and more into every single hour. But we've been trying to solve the wrong problem. The real goal was never to manage your time. It's to fiercely protect your attention. Because your attention, that is the raw material of everything you create, everything you experience, and everything you become.
So, how do we actually fix this? It's not about finding some new productivity app or some clever life hack.
It's about learning the art of being truly present and taking back your most valuable and most vulnerable asset, your focus.
Being fully present isn't some mystical state you have to unlock, and it's definitely not a superpower you're either born with or not. It is simply a conscious choice, a choice you make in this moment and then in the next one. It's the choice to finish one thought completely before you start another, to create a tiny ritual, like just taking one deep breath and closing your eyes for 10 seconds, to fully close one mental tab before opening the next.
So I'll leave you with this. Just take a moment right now and ask yourself, where is my attention really? Is it here with me, fully engaged? Or is a part of it still stuck on the last email you read, the last conversation you had, or the next thing on your to-do list? The answer to that question, it defines your work, relationships, and ultimately your entire life.